Hello, Supercoaches. It is the preview podcast for round 20. Rob's already completely lost it. It's going to be a good show. How's your team travelling?
That's the worst intro we've ever done.
Well, mate, because that's your fault.
I just wanted to see if you're a professional and you could push through it, but clearly...
Mate, you do it every week.
We're getting to the end of the season, you're getting worse and worse, your reserves have run down.
How's your team travelling?
Tom, my team's going great.
Yes.
And how's your team going?
Better than yours.
By?
1 point.
1 point. That is
1
just...
point. After 19 rounds of Supercoach, literally one tackle is dividing us.
It's shocking, really, the fact that we sit across from each other and what are your trades? Oh, I'm going to do that. What do you go? Yeah, so we end up... I mean,
our teams are not that similar, though, really. But yeah, no, 1 point. That's crazy.
It's exciting times.
Exactly. So, what are your trades this week so I can not copy them?
Well, I'm making 3. I'm using my last...
3?
Yeah, I'm using my last boost.
Left?
Yeah, I have my boost. How many do I have left after this?
After this?
5. And I've already got 1 planned. So I'll have 4 and a perfect team.
Right.
Couchman, Brown and Asako are going out. Asako is a bit of a luxury, right? But I'll explain it. So income going as enough to rotate with Connor Watson.
Yep.
Jaden Campbell, because I need a 5/8, and Lomax, who I'm putting into flex. So next week, I've still got Lucas. Next week, Lucas goes out and Cleary comes in.
Yeah. Interesting. So, 5 trades left. Let's call it 4. I will have 11 trades left after this week. I'm only making... So
what's the point?
So that 1 point gap should be pretty easy to make up at some stage this season. I'm
very confident I will finish ahead of you, Thomas. Should we say loser has to get a tattoo of the winner's choice?
No.
You're all like, no, 11 trades. I'm fine.
I'll happily have some sort of bet, just not a tattoo. What
about your trade?
My trade, Dylan Edwards is in for Lucas. So Dylan for Dylan. I like him with the goal kicking, and recently his stats are sensational. So he's averaging 25 runs over the last 4 games. Started the season slowly, all sorts of injury issues for him this year. Plus then you add Origin in there, it's been very disrupted. But you look at his recent scores and his recent base stats, and they're very good. So I like him. Plus, should kick goals at least for maybe 1 or 2 weeks until Nathan Cleary's groin gets better. He's
always been a worker. But the reason I can't get him is I've got Hughes and Hines at halfback, and I want Cleary. So I'm just prioritising. I'm just going to wait another week and I'll get Cleary. Yeah, well, I've got Cleary, so I will almost certainly have the Panthers goal kicker no matter what. Yeah, true.
Which is good. Assuming Alamotti doesn't take the goal kicking, which didn't happen last week. Yeah. So your no-go zone.
It's not a hard no-go zone, but it's kind of tough actually, like the majority of the trades, like the top 20 trades, I think they're all reasonable. It's Hudson Young. So he's the third most popular buy. And he's, I think, the top second row at the moment, but he has osteitis pubis. The Raiders are sitting pretty at the top of the table. If they lock in a top 2 finish, there's got to be some chance that Young then gets another rest. I also think they've got another bye, maybe round 24.
24, so right in a critical
pretty
moment
important
of the season
time
for head-to-head players.
So all of those are reasons that it's risky, but the reason that I can get around it is he's got tremendous upside. He's got a base of 50, loves to score a try. I can see why people are doing it. I just think it's risky.
I agree with you. I think he's probably done his best stuff for the season. Carrying that groin injury, I'm not into him. I could easily go Dylan Lucas to him, but I'm not going to do it. I think that it could be a little bit of a trap for the exact reasons that you're pointing out. My no-go zone is another Raider, Kyo Weeks, who I know that you were weighing up at some stage today.
Yeah.
And there are reasons to get him in because the BE is minus 71. So he's set to go up by 120k according to SuperCoach Plus, which is $29.95 for the year. And if you don't own it, you need to know these numbers, the BEs, the price rises, etc. $29.95 for the year, or you get a code subscription for $1 for the first month. So just get stuck into that.
Or if you just text me, I'll send a BE. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So back to what I was talking about.
Mr. Weeks.
Is that he's scored 4 tons, which is good. He's also got 10 scores under 45, so he can go really low. I won't be going there. Dual position looks good, but he can just go so low.
He's rocks or diamonds, which you say, and then that way you cover yourself, because when he goes well, you go, oh, he's diamonds. Yeah. The draw is pretty good. And I think he's next to, Knights and Dragons, and those are two teams he's scored 100 on already this year. He's not a huge worker, not like a Dylan Edwards kind of guy. There are games where he only has 9 runs. There's games where he has 16 runs. You're not quite sure what you get. He's cheap, and 5'8's a tough spot. I can see why people are doing it. If
you've got lots of trades, maybe, but and use it as a 2-week, play him in your team and make some money. But he's not a guy who, if you're low on trades like Rob Sutherland, who you can keep for the rest of the season.
But a lot of the people who are trading now are the head-to-head people. So Weeks, with his 2-week draw, is a guy that could win you your head-to-head battle, right, and get you into the finals, at which point you're trading him out.
That's a very good point. Guilty pleasure. What's your one this week? This is the move that you shouldn't make, but you can't help yourself.
Look, again, I don't know that it's really shouldn't make, but it's tossing up at 5'8". It's Jaden Campbell or Cameron Munster for me. And I think Munster is the safe pick, but Campbell gets 2 shots at the Tigers. He's goal kicker. Even with his team at the bottom of the ladder, I still prefer his upside to Munster, and the 100k less doesn't hurt either.
I like it. I mean, I own Munster already, so I'm relatively happy. But if I would go, if I had to choose this week, I might lean towards Campbell just because of the pod factor. For me, it's Tedesco as captain. It doesn't make sense in a lot of ways because they're playing the Sharks at Shark Park, which is it's a tough trip. Plus, Tedesco's playing early in the round, second game of the week, so you could easily go VC. But for me, I'm just going to stick the C on him. Hope he goes well.
Well, wait till we get to the captaincies. I'm going to go even crazier, Thomas.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is a rough week for captaincy.
Stay with us, people. It's going to be an exciting few minutes.
Or just fast forward through the
rubbish that's coming next.
Welcome to this week's Best Bets, powered by Betr. What are you thinking, Rob?
3 try scorers. I've got Herbie Farnworth against the Cows. Their defence is poor. Their defence actually was, to be fair, okay against the Dogs, but I think that said more about the Dogs' attack. All they did was go one way, which ties in a little bit later. So then I've got To'o against Souths. They're missing bodies. Edwards is going to sweep right, set To'o up. I'm pretty sure he's going to score a try.
Yep.
And Carraz, he was filthy, visibly filthy at the lack of ball that was going to the right-hand side when he was at the Dogs last week on that side, because the Cows just kept targeting Robert Derby. So Critter's back. His voice is loud. I'm sure he's going to get the ball coming back his way, and I think Carraz scores.
It's funny you say that because I did have Carraz in my multi just before and then switched it up to Jethro Rinakama, who's the winger on the other side.
He was impressive on debut.
Who, was really good on debut, and I can't bring him in for Supercoach this week. I mean, it's a week early to do it anyway, but he's a guy I've got on my cheapie radar. To be fair, he's one of those guys that I wish didn't debut this season and then debuted in round 1 next year because it's kind of too late for cheapies. But I've got him to score a try, the Dogs to win against my Dragons. I like betting against the Dragons because if my bet gets up, I'm happy. And if the Dragons win, I'm happy. So it's win-win. That'll get me $2.25.
$2.25.
Yeah.
Come on, Thomas.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Heaps of questions coming through this week. I put the shout out on Twitter just before, and the 2 people who got back to me first were Jet Hatton.
It's a bit of inside baseball, yeah.
And Sean Toomer.
A bit more inside baseball, okay.
Both people from in this building. Jet, of course, on this podcast regularly. Will Rob be reading a book at 6 p.m. Friday night, given how big of a game this is? Against his Sharkies as well.
Oh, it's even worse. Yeah. I'm going to... Well, it's both... It's sort of bittersweet. It's bitter because I'm going to the farewell of a colleague of ours.
Yes.
But bitter because I don't like her. So it's Maria. And it's sweet because she's leaving. So I'm going to go and make sure she's off the premises. And that's at the same time as the Roosters play. So bit of a social, bit of a celebration. And I won't be watching the game.
Well, that's a low blow.
She'd do the same if she had a chance.
She probably would. She would definitely defend herself against that. On to Sean Toomer. So he said, is Chad Townsend a buy?
Jeez, I hate Sean Toomer. Sean Toomer lets his cat lick his head. just in case people didn't know that. So, like, if he's going to, like, ruin my day by bringing up Chad, I'm going to ruin his.
Okay. On to pod of the week. What are you thinking? I said at the start, you can't do anything that needs to get edited out because we're a bit short on staff today.
Nothing there was, I didn't swear. Nothing illegal.
Yeah,
Sean set it up. I just knocked it over.
Yeah, just maybe a little bit of HR action in there.
Pod of the week. Brian Toto.
Yeah.
Really low ownership. I think about 3%. I understand why. He's got the niggles and the hamstring. But, he's a genuine pod. He's got great upside. The draw is really good as long as he stays healthy.
Yeah, that's the issue. I did watch him live at Origin and he was really struggling. So for me, that's the reason why I'm going to avoid. But if he looks like he's running freely this weekend, then for sure he could go for it. Mine is Jack Howarth. So...
Oh, come on, Tom.
Coming back from injury, appendicitis was his latest. He's had lots of injury-affected games this year. 370 odd K. So instead of freeing up cash by going to Tanah Boyd, for example, or Lachie Galvin, which some people are doing, you get Howarth in a team that is a great attacking side, so he should be getting some good attacking stats in there. He's averaging 50 for the season when you take out an injury-affected game. So I think it's a decent option if you're looking for someone to free up some money who you could play on matchups in the run home.
But he doesn't fit into your top 5 or 6 centre wings, right?
No, he's a matchup guy, yeah.
Yeah, but like if you have, I haven't got the stats in front of me. I've got a feeling with Howarth, he's one of those guys that goes well sometimes where you don't expect it. Like he's very hard to grab hold of. He's not Mr. Consistency, right? So it's the same with Tanah Boyd. It's the same to an extent with Lachie Galvin. I'm like, we should be going absolute guns and nuffs now. And I don't get these guys who are 50s on a normal day. I want guys who are 70 on a normal day.
Which is a good segue into our cheapies segment. So Tanah Boyd, if you can call him a cheapie at 330k, would you go there this week?
No, because he had a great game. He had a game against a pretty weak opposition. The team that he was playing for was up and he was kicking goals, scored 70 points, which I think roughly his 5th or 6th best score in his entire NRL career, which spans 50, 60 games, right? So that's his peak. And I just can't see the point of buying into that at this stage, no.
I don't agree with it. I would go for enough, but I'll point out as well, I think he had 4 try contributions in there. So if a couple of those become try assists, then you're looking at a pretty serious score.
He can play. He's a goal kicker, and the team he's playing for is in top 4. I just wouldn't have him in my 17, therefore I don't want to bring him in. Yeah,
I disagree with it as well. Galvin, thoughts on him? So like 430 odd K. Now starting at the Dogs, very cheap compared to what he has done in the past in SuperCoach, given those games off the bench.
Yeah, I didn't like what I saw when he played. He keeps skipping sideways and he was sort of choking up the attack on that side. And Burton is the dominant ball calling half. I just don't see it. I think he might average 50 from here on out. And why are you paying 400k for 50?
I don't hate it. I reckon he's got that class to get some decent scores in a pretty good team. So I don't mind it at that price. If it goes up by much more, it's not worth taking that risk. And then obviously we all agree it's probably enough season.
I think
Kalani going, who I've got perfect swing with Connor Watson.
Yeah.
Miles Martin, Ethan Roberts, Kane Bradley. Not really enough, given that he's actually been named this week, but you can swing him from the back row to centre wing.
Freakish looking dude, isn't he?
He's
one you see normal rugby league players, you go, good looking rooster, right? Like even if they're not maybe the prettiest visually, you look at them and go, whoa, he's got a rig. You could walk past Bradley on the street and just think slightly awkward looking man.
Speaking of rigs, let's do the late mail segment, because I circulated a photo on the group chat today of Valentine Holmes is just so ripped. It's ridiculous. There is some chat floating around that he could have a shoulder injury. Not sure how severe it is.
Yet.
Yeah. Like we're chasing it. In any case, even at this stage, if you're bringing in Valentine Holmes, is the 6th most purchased player, I would cancel that trade and go for Lomax or whoever it is.
100%.
Yep. So Pappenhausen, he has confirmed
Yes, calf strain.
So he's basically just blasted the medical staff there at the Storm.
He straight up did it. He said, I wish they wouldn't say I had a strain. Yeah.
So they originally came out and said it was calf tightness.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's a strain. They should have just said strain straight away so that super coaches knew what was going on.
I just got a little calf strain, so
Supercoach coaches are off it. They're filthy.
actually that's the thing. Like I'm very I hate how they put out their calf tightness, and I'm like, tell me it's a strain. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
Just tell everyone so they're not saying.
And a
why
strain
is
and
he-
tightness, they're not too different. Like it's not like I've ruptured it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you say calf tightness for 3 weeks, I think people who can read between the lines can see
Yeah.
that it's more.
Yeah.
But then they're probably thinking the other
Like
end of the
way
spectrum.
more. Yeah, like real bad. But,
yeah. So,
but you heard it here first, 167 potty.
And in his social media post, it said, here is one for super coaches. So shout out to Ryan Pappenhausen for caring about it.
Hard not to love the Paps, isn't it? Yeah.
But like, would you sell? So it looks like he's back next week. Popular sell this round. If you've already stuck through these 3, would you hold for next week?
Nah, I'd sell. Move on.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Even if he comes back, when he comes back, he probably doesn't kick goals. So yeah.
And just a quick one from tonight's game, not overly Supercoach relevant, but Sean O'Sullivan has been axed by the Dolphins. That was confirmed by our man Travis Main today. So that means that Jake Averillo starts in the halves.
Which will be interesting because he's got more of a Cody style to his game, doesn't he?
Yeah, and definitely more of a runner as well. I think so. Isaiah Katoa seems to be the guy who's going to run the team and do the ball playing, and Averillo can just run.
Yeah,
which is definitely his strength. Captaincy, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm going straight on Herbie. First game, you're going straight C. He hasn't gone below 70 for 12 games in a row now. I know maybe Averillo in the halves maybe works for him, maybe it works against him. I don't know. I don't care. I don't think it really matters with Herbie. The Cowboys have a really generally weak defence. I think Herbie's base will, if you add tackle busts, is probably 60. And then it's just upside from there. I don't love any of the other options. I've got Teddy. He's the only one. Like Hughes, I've got, but Hughes can go big, small. Hines, the Roosters can defend badly, but I can't captain a bloke playing my own team. So, yeah, that's where I am.
See, I think that the time straight C on a Thursday night used to be a genuine tactic because you'd always get the pod. But now that Flex has been introduced and your AE is your second worst player, I think that straight C early is not a great tactic. My thoughts.
Fair.
But having said that, I've got
Herbie's second game.
I've got Herbie's VC, which is really popular. It's boring. It's 50% as VC. I think that makes sense. You pretty much have to lock him in, and I'm going into Teddy in the second game. The other option would be to VC Teddy and then go into someone else, maybe Dylan Edwards.
Yeah, I actually, if I had Edwards, I would do that.
Yeah, so he's only 10% captaincy, which is pretty pod areas.
Yeah.
But yeah, a rough week for captaincy. So it's going to be one of those things that could be a big moving play this week. So definitely look into that. Final thought. You've told me to wait out for this segment.
Look, it's not Supercoach related, but it is a real sort of thing of mine, which is pedestrians at stoplights, right? So you're walking up to the stoplight and there's someone standing at the stoplight and you think, oh, they will have hit the button, and you wait and the lights cycle over and it doesn't change. And I used to sort of inwardly seethe about it. Now I outwardly just swear at them. Like, the button's there, hit the goddamn button, now we've all got to wait. At which point, it gets awkward because you do have to wait standing next to them for the next cycle of lights. But I don't care because I see it as a service to the next person when that idiot rocks up at the lights.
People need to know, that's for sure.
And I tell them.
My final thought, so I went away on the weekend, no reception, had the VC on Nico Hines, goes out and bangs out 130, whatever it was. But I didn't even know.
I saw you did that.
I couldn't change it.
I saw it and I was just like, oh, that's nice of Thomas. He's really backing Teddy. Good on you.
I just could not change it. I had no idea what he had done. So yeah, I missed out and I didn't even know what it was. 80 points or something in the end. Probably less.
50 is
probably
the difference.
Less,
Just 50.
Probably about,
Yeah.
Anyway, questions to end the show. Who will kick it? We've kind of covered this, but who would kick out of Edwards or Alamotti?
I think Edwards.
Yep. And then finally, we've covered this too, but any love for Galvin?
Not from me.
Not from me.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tempted, but I can't quite make it work.
You were firmer on it before we came into the show.
Yeah, but that's because
My voice of reason has tipped you the other way.
No. I tried to do the trade and I was 5k short. So now I'm trying to talk people out of it.
I would have thought you've got the number.
I don't have the QR code. That is it for the preview podcast. We'll catch you next week. Big thanks to Rob.